Number 13. Consider the points a, -6, 10, and b, 4, -6. Find the equation of a line that exists such that every point on the line is the same distance from a as it is from b. Okay, these keywords, the same distance from a as it is from b, means you are going to want to find the perpendicular bisector. And to kind of visualize that a little bit, let's say this is point A and this is point B. The perpendicular bisector would go straight through like here, and you can see that this makes an isosceles triangle. At any point that we pick along the perpendicular bisector, that would make an isosceles triangle, which would mean that these two lengths are the same, which would mean that the distances are equivalent. So that's why we're finding the perpendicular bisector. So, to find the perpendicular bisector, there's two things you need to do. First, you need to find the midpoint of these 2 points. And that's pretty straightforward. Midpoint of, here, I'm going to write these out here just for convenience. So the midpoint, to find the midpoint, you just take the average of the coordinates. So the x-coordinate of the midpoint would be -6 plus 4, which is -2, divided by 2 is -1. And then halfway between 10 and -6 would be 10 plus -6, which is 4, divided by 2 is 2. Okay, so that's our point. Now for the perpendicular part, this is the part that's the bisector. And now we need to find the part for perpendicular. So, to find the perpendicular, we can just first find the slope. So between A and B, our slope is going to be -6 minus 10 on top, and then 4 minus -6 on bottom. So that'll be -16 over 10, which is -8/5. So that's the slope between A and B. Now the perpendicular slope, you just need to take the negative reciprocal. So the perpendicular slope will just be 5/8. All right, so from here what you can do, you have a point in the midpoint and you have the perpendicular slope, so we can just use point-slope form. So our slope is 5/8, our point is -1, 2, and so the equation of our line, if you use point-slope, will be y minus 2 equals 5/8 times x plus 1. I'm going to multiply everything by 8, just because all of our answer choices have whole numbers and no fractions. So I'm multiplying by 8 to get rid of the 8 in this denominator. So if I multiply everything by 8, on the left we get not 16y, we get 8y, and then minus 16. And then on the right we get 5 times x plus 1, which is just 5x plus 5. Looking at the answer choices again, we see that we want to get our x's and y's on one side, and then our constant on the right-hand side. So that's what I'm going to do next. So 8y, I'm going to move the 8y over to the left-hand side, or to the right-hand side, I'm sorry. 5x minus 8y, and then I'll move the 5 over to the left-hand side and get -21. And let's see if this matches any of our options. We have 5x minus 8y equals -21, and that would appear to be answer choice C. Alright, so if you have any questions from other tests, make sure to leave a comment and I will make a video with a solution. With that said, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. This has been Investigative Math, and I will see you next time.